All right, so we on to number 9 on my list of the top quarterbacks in NFL history. Like I said, I had 13 that I thought could be top 10. However, I gotta choose. I gotta narrow it down to my 10, and Steve Young was number 10, and we on to number 9. At number 9, the guy played for the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre. Know what y'all thinking. What we know about him recently, he ain't that good of a dude, but I'm talking about Brett Favre, the player, not Brett Favre, the man. Excellent quarterback. Had one of the best arms in NFL history. He's a 3-time league MVP. I told y'all that it was rare air to be 2-time league MVP. Only 11 people that have done that in the history of the NFL. Only 6 have been 3-time MVPs, and only 5 of them were quarterbacks. Brett Favre's one of them. He's the only person in NFL history to be a 3-time MVP in terms of 3 years in a row. That's what Brett Favre did. His level of dominance in the 90s was spectacular during a time where the 49ers and the Cowboys was running things, but Brett Favre was that dude at quarterback, even as the 49ers and the Cowboys was running things. Once he got Reggie White with him and had that D, he went on to start going to Super Bowls too. He's a 6-time All-Pro. He won a Super Bowl and went to another Super Bowl the very next year and was favored in that Super Bowl based on what he had done with the MVPs and how he had been projecting forward at that point in time. Brett Favre was that dude. I know he threw a lot of interceptions because he gambled a lot with the talent that he had in terms of his talent, but he still did a lot of good things and retired with the league lead in overall touchdowns for a career, the first one to break the 500 barrier. Now, he lost to a guy that I got at my number 8 all time. That'd be John Elway. John Elway, he wasn't a 6-time All-Pro like Brett Favre. He was only a 3-time All-Pro. He wasn't a 3-time MVP like Brett Favre. He only won 1 league MVP, but he was a winner. And he finished his career as a winner, but he started out having to learn the hard way. When he played Brett Favre in that Super Bowl, when Brett Favre's second Super Bowl in a row that he lost to John Elway, once Elway got Terrell Davis in the crew, John Elway was coming into that Super Bowl as a guy who was known for losing in spectacular fashion a couple times. He had been to 3 Super Bowls, but he had led a team to 3 Super Bowls that wasn't necessarily the greatest from a top to bottom standpoint. John Elway was just that dude. Once he got more guys around him, he beat the great Brett Favre and then went on and won again for 2 in a row to finish his career, and probably could have won a 3rd. Who knows how that would have went down against the greatest show on turf if that Denver team had showed up to play him. We'll never know. But we do know that John Elway was that dude, and that he led the Broncos to many Super Bowls. He was an All-Pro, a league MVP, and one of the greats of all time, who also had a talented arm. His arm strength, his ability to run with the ball, all was great. And I put him at my number 8. Now, at number 7, another Green Bay Packer, Aaron Rodgers. The only thing that's a knock on Aaron Rodgers' career is he's only been to 1 Super Bowl. Now, a lot of quarterbacks would be happy and fulfilled with 1 Super Bowl, especially when you win it like Brett Favre did. Like Aaron Rodgers did, rather. Aaron Rodgers won that Super Bowl against Ben Roethlisberger and the crew, and he cemented himself as one of the all-time greats. But he hasn't been back since. He's one of the most skilled quarterbacks. He throws that ball as crisp as Dan Marino. He can scramble a little bit. A lot of people say he's the most talented quarterback they've ever seen. If he just had got to a few more Super Bowls and maybe won another one, he'd be top 5. We'd be arguing, is he top 3? But he didn't do it. So that's why I got him at number 7 for me. He's a 4-time league MVP. Only 2 people have that distinction. So he's in really rare class. 4-time league MVP, a 5-time All-Pro for those first team. Aaron Rodgers has been the epitome of how you play the quarterback position from a technical standpoint. Keeps his interceptions down, completion percentage is solid, yards, touchdowns, wins in the regular season. It's just that postseason that he got a few issues with. But I got him at my number 7 all time. Now, number 6 is the guy that's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. He's playing right now. Patrick Mahomes. My homeboy, as Shannon Sharp likes to say. Magic Mahomes, as Travis Kelce likes to say. He gets all the superlatives. To me, he's like Michael Jordan playing football because he's hit this league and just taken over at an early age. And even more so than Mike, he's actually winning too at an early age. Only in the league 5 years. He's a 3-time All-Pro and a 2-time league MVP. But on top of that, he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion and a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. He shows the clutch genes of a Tom Brady or a Joe Montana, and he has the skill set and puts up the numbers like he's a Peyton Manning or a Dan Marino or a Brett Favre. Like, the guy does it all, and he scrambles. The only knock on Patrick so far is he's only played 5 years. I just can't elevate him any higher than 6. He's got to pay his dues, and he's got to show that he's what I think he looks like. But he looks like the best I've ever seen, football player, period. But right now, he's number 6 all time, which is incredible for only playing 5 years in the NFL in terms of actual seasons. I know some of y'all are going to say, well, he's 6 years because he sat that first year. 5 years he started, 5 AFC championships, 2 Super Bowls, 3 appearances. Y'all know the numbers. Y'all watching this dude. He's sick. Number 6. Holla at y'all.